Before we can answer the all-important question of how strong the Traveler is lore-wise in Genshin Impact, I want to take you guys back to when we first met Farina and she instantly challenged the Traveler to a fight under the guise that she was a god. Do you guys remember what the Traveler's response was?
You may consider this my reward to all of you. I have determined that there will be an epic duel between myself and this Traveler from another land, just as you were hoping to see.
Now she wants to fight? Aren't we getting a little ahead of ourselves?
Fighting gods, I've got a resume, whilst holding his sword up preparing for battle. Yeah, you got a resume, sure, but in the same sense that this nigga has a resume. Guys, let's look at the Traveler's fighting record versus the gods. The first god the Traveler fought was the Sustainer of Heavenly Principles, and that ended in him and his sibling getting boxed up and shipped right back to Teyvat, man. I don't even think they landed a hit on this bitch. I mean, it looks like she's using Limitless. I don't know what this is. It wasn't really a close fight, so moving swiftly on to the next one. The next god I say fought, I guess would be Osile, but like, come on, bro. They summoned the Avengers for this guy. And even then, they still admitted they didn't know if they had the strength to beat him. So I'm not going to count that one. After Osile, we fought A. Twice, actually. The first time we got slept. And the second time, I'm going to be completely honest, I still don't know what really happened here, but I think we beat her through the power of friendship. Even if she doesn't really look beat, I mean, she was on one knee, and she did say she lost, so, I mean, we'll chalk it up to the Traveler. A hell of a lot less intervention in this one than with Osile, so it seems fair to me. After her, we fought Osile's wife, Beshat, but I couldn't really find anything that indicated to me she was a god. She's just been described as a follower of the Vortex and Osile's wife, so I'm not going to count her. After breaking even with A is Shoki no Kami, who is what Scaramouche became when he was turned into a god, to which we lost to him 168 times in a row. Before finally beating him after being given the memories of the other 168 losses and having these fights peer-reviewed by all of Sumeru. To this day, I'd still very much like to know what Nilou added to this whole conversation. Just twirl! Twirl around the nigga! And don't stop twirling! Alright. Anyway, that puts this sorry motherfucker's record at 2 and 170. So, when confronted with yet another god, the Hydro Archon no less, just because remember, at this point, we've no reason to believe she was lying, he looked at her, referenced his sorry-ass resume, and just said, nah, I'd win. Bro, you can't make this shit up, man. That is funny. And I get it, you know, the Traveler's not at full strength, but he said this, not me. And besides, he was at full strength when he fought the Sustainer, and that was like his worst defeat. 1v2, mind you. It was full strength times 2, and they both just like, I don't even know, got like turned into boxes, had their powers sealed, and returned to sender. Whoop, right back to Teyvat. I think there's a misunderstanding regarding the Traveler's power, at full strength or otherwise, given his title of Descender. And it no doubt has to do with the other two Descenders quite literally being the first and second strongest beings in Teyvat's history, and people look at those two and go, huh, so I guess this guy must be pretty strong. And I mean, he's not a bitch, but, you know, he's not on their level. I mean, guys, we all know who the other two are. The Dragon King Nibelung, King of the Sovereigns, and the Primordial One, a progenitor god hailing from beyond the stars. And I mean, there's just some little nigga named Ether. I mean, he aight, but it's like, come on, man. Yeah, they're all Descenders, but guys, a Descender is simply someone who came from beyond the stars and has a will that rivals the entire world. That's it. There's no power level requirement that one needs just to become a Descender. So long as they check those two boxes, they're good to go. Just because otherwise, right, the whale surely would have been a Descender due to its sheer power alone and the fact that it came from beyond the stars. I mean, it could have destroyed Teyvat and just swam off to another world. Nervalette said this. But it still wasn't classified as a Descender because it's just a mindless creature. A strong one, but mindless nonetheless. Another point people like to mention are the Traveler's age. Yes, they are both old, no doubt. In fact, I'd argue they're probably much older than even we realize based on what this fortune teller tells us.
Health prospects, no problem at all. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. Your life shall continue on for many tens of thousands of years. impossible.
Tens of thousands of years is at least 20,000 years, and Morax, who's regarded as one of the oldest beings in Teyvat and is revered for his old, wise age, is only 6,000 in comparison. However, with all their age, evidently gained not enough power to 1v2 the Sustainer at full strength. And for those doubting the fortune teller, keep in mind, she got the harem right.
Love prospects? No problem at all. The gods have spoken. The truth shall be revealed. One who is fated to cross your path will appear on... Huh? So many people will fall for you. How could that be? Harut, Marut, did you two spoil my divination? I've never read a fortune so absurd.
The last point I want to address is the Traveler gathering the elements makes him stronger, and I mean, this is true, but guys, do we really think he's 2 elements away from challenging anyone of worth? At the 2 in 170 record, he's 2 elements away. Look, in any case, while not strong enough to fight the gods, the Traveler is by no means a pushover, and has beaten some rather formidable opponents. While the Traveler is known amongst the people of Teyvat as someone who has done the impossible, like save Mondstadt from a rogue dragon and save Lee away from the evil god, for the most part, a lot of his accolades are what I could only imagine to be a supporting role alongside people like Zhongli, Shenhe, Nervalette, versus some pretty impressive enemies like Ajdaha, Beshit, and the all-devouring Narwhal. However, the Traveler has defeated some strong opponents nonetheless on his strength alone, starting with Childe. The pros to defeating someone as widely regarded as Tartaglia are he's the 11th ranked Fatui Harbinger. The cons are he's the 11th ranked Fatui Harbinger. I kid. Mentioning this feat amongst the common folk would yield high praise due to the perception that Childe is strong, which he is, to them. However, amongst the real ballers, Childe is more or less someone with a great aptitude for fighting. He loves it. He loves it like crack. And he will eventually grow into it, but as it stands right now, he's simply ranked too low. And hell, even he realizes this.
I've seen him in battle before, and oh, what a sight it was. Perhaps I'm ranked too low for him to notice me right now. Well, he may not recognize my strengths yet, but one day, I'll show him what I'm made of.
In any case, the Traveler did defeat him in a one-on-one fight and even forced Childe to use the Foul Legacy, which proved pointless in the end as the fight concluded with Childe on one knee, but not for long. Regardless, it's not like this was a one-sided fight like most of the ones with the gods. No one was really in danger of dying here, but that's not to say this fight was fruitless and no one was trying their best, as Childe was fighting the Traveler because he was under the impression he had taken the Gnosis. While this was the first Harbinger the Traveler defeated, it would not be the last, as he would also take down Childe Senior La Signora, rank 8 of the Fatui Harbingers. This battle between the two was about as pure as a fight can get, a simple duel before the throne with no trickery involved, both understanding that the loser will perish. It gave it their all, and the Traveler won, point blank. You gotta tip it. I've been slandering him, but well done. Even with Signora unleashing her full power as the Crimson Witch, the fight still ended with her panting on all fours, bless the gods. In any case, I do want to point out that somehow, before this fight, Signora managed to just clean sweep Kujo Sara, it seems. She is out cold, bro. She is slumped, man. And Signora looks perfectly fine. So, I guess that means the Traveler is stronger than Sara. That's a +1 in my book. The last sentient being worth mentioning that the Traveler beat was Narzissenkreuz, who's just like a souped-up abyss-oceanid hybrid monster with the power to create life. I won't lie though, I have absolutely no idea how to gauge his power with the rest of the worlds, given he spent nearly all of his time in the Primordial Sea just sort of chilling, not really doing much, but given he could create life, he created the Hilichurl Carter, and he was fought for the purpose of stopping him from, quote, creating a new world by merging everyone's consciousness. He seemed like a world-ending threat, so I'm going to assume he was strong. How strong he was compared to the others, I dare not say. But for funsies, maybe the strongest person the Traveler has fought? Don't quote me though. So with all that said, how strong is the Traveler lore-wise in comparison with the rest of Teyvat? He aight. I think we'll firmly grasp his position if we ever end up fighting Arlecchino, seeing as aside from the gods, she should by far and away be the strongest person we've fought. But right now, I'd say he's upper, lower quadrant. And at full strength with all the elements, he might still just be under the gods. It's tough though, because my mind keeps going to someone like Capitano, and I don't know if we'll ever be as strong as him. If he's rumored to be, or if he is as strong as he's rumored to be. Regardless, I don't think, even with all that, he's still strong enough to defeat the strongest beings in Teyvat. And the twin knows this, by the way, which is why they have their original power, can probably wield all 7 elements considering they already went on their journey, and they're using whatever the hell this dark power from beyond the world is, but we'll talk about her later.